Hello everyone. I know, this is ridiculous. So, I know this is not the video that I originally promised you, but Amanda asked me, she's like, aren't you gonna film something for Easter? You normally do holiday videos, and I was like, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Whoops. In my defense, I have a lot going on in my life that I'm not ready to talk about yet because I only do one update on this stuff a month and, Anyway, I try to do holiday videos because I understand that for those of us who are not connected with their family right now, holidays can be incredibly hard. It can serve as a reminder that you are not where you want to be with your family and that things are not really the way you'd hope they would be. And it sucks, and especially if you're like alone, and I'm not. You know, I get why that's awful, you know? So this is my attempt to be there for you by talking about religion. It's not gonna work, but hey, it's something. So Easter, that's a thing, and so is Passover, and we'll talk about that a little bit too. So, okay, in my elementary school, it was a Catholic elementary school, which is kind of an unusual thing, and we also celebrated the Seder for Passover, which is also kind of unusual for a Catholic school to do because it is a Jewish tradition. And then I dated a Jewish girl, and she and her family and I all had to do like all the, you know, Jewish traditions and celebrations and everything. So I really know like a weird amount about this stuff. Anyway, so thanks to my family basically beating religion out of me for all those years and using it as a weapon against me and all of those things, I kind of fell out of love with religion as an organized thing. And like, you need to understand, I was like deep in this stuff. I was at one point in 4 different choirs simultaneously. Some of them were singing, but most of them I was playing bass in. Which, yes, at some point I will put a video of me playing bass on this channel, don't worry, it's coming. It's just technically challenging, okay? I at one point taught religion to children, like, it's a thing. I was in on this stuff. Anyway, so Amanda is a little more religious than I am and has been dying to go do some religious stuff. She wants to be working her way back into organized religion in some capacity. And I was not having this for a long time. Until this year, I decided that I was willing to try. And so I agreed to go to a service at sunrise. Not sure what I was thinking there. The day of that service, it was thunder and lightning for an outdoor ceremony at sunrise. Didn't seem like a smart idea to go. So instead, hey, have you heard about Jesus? Yeah, that's great and all, but have you ever played video games until 3 in the morning? And that's exactly what happened. I just stayed up playing Splatfest until 3 in the morning, and it was way too rainy that day to go. So instead, what we did was we ended up watching Jesus Christ Superstar and the 10 Commandments on Easter, and you know what? That counts, right? Yeah, so maybe next year. I don't know, when it comes to religion, I'm just not exactly sure where I stand on most of this stuff. Like, I was raised Catholic, and I gotta say, I really do not love a lot of the ways that Catholicism handles particular issues. You know, from everything from the sex scandals and all of that, all the way up to LGBT issues, which I guess I'm gonna talk about on this channel now. Like, Catholicism basically says that it's okay to be gay, just don't have sex. And it's okay to be trans, just don't transition medically. And it's like, and the thing is that, like, I don't even really understand the trans side of that because I'm like, where in the Bible does it say not to be trans? Like, how is that even a thing? Like, okay, we got the whole Leviticus thing with gays, and I'm like, okay, that's a gross misinterpretation of that, first of all, but at least there's like something there that could be misinterpreted to be that. I literally do not understand what the problem with trans people transitioning is. The only argument I've ever actually seen is that like God doesn't make mistakes, and therefore you shouldn't attempt to correct your body to match your image of yourself. And I'm like, okay, I don't think God made a mistake with me, for sure. We're gonna have a conversation if I ever get to meet them, but like, I don't think that that's the case. I'm not trying to correct God's mistake, I'm trying to follow the path that God has laid out before me. This is getting transy and I need to stop because we need to do that once a month. Once a month! Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about organized religion in general, still. You know, I've studied a bunch of different religions. I actually took a bunch of like history of religions in like college and stuff, and you know, like I get that those are elective courses and I didn't really go deep into it or anything. But this has been a thing that I've definitely looked into most of my life. One of my favorite philosophies, and you really can't call it a religion, is Buddhism, and I really feel like there's a lot there that actually makes a lot of sense and is actually something that I can work with, but I don't know how it connects with my, like, beliefs about deities and, like, God and the universe and the way that all that works, and Jesus and all of that, and I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm just kind of a little lost, I guess, mostly because my religion told me that I shouldn't be allowed to exist, so... yeah, so I guess I'm just kind of feeling weird this holiday. I don't really know why. I guess it's because of all the religious connotations of it and everything, and, like, I'm obviously going through some stuff right now, and, you know, my life is making more sense, and I'm just all over the place. And I want to keep this video short, mostly because I didn't plan for it, and so the only thing really left to do is to try some of my Easter candy from my basket, from my family of choice, and one of the items in that basket is sour watermelon peeps. They're green. Yeah, so I don't expect to like these. They're sour watermelon. Like, I love watermelon. Watermelon's great. And I don't really love peeps because they're basically a giant marshmallow, which is not, like, my favorite texture to have in my mouth, with, like, a crispy, pure sugar coating on the outside. And I just, like, it's, ugh. That kind of sugar is, like, the crunchy kind that they have on cakes. This looks really not great for a camera. I'm fine. Everything's fine. That reminds me, I was coming out of my work bathroom with a pair of scissors the other day, and my coworkers were like, oh, and I'm like, no, I had a tag, I swear, I'm not, like, everything's fine, everything's fine. Right, peeps. Yeah, they are not good food. I mean, I don't even really care for, like, the OG peeps very much, and these are just like, oh yeah, let's put some awful flavoring on them. So this is probably going to go the same way that the sour watermelon raisins went, and that video was unpleasant. I'm still trying to get rid of all that food. I think I'll bring the raisins into work to give to my coworkers to give them a real challenge. Those monsters will eat anything if you leave it in the kitchen long enough. All right, let's do this. Oh, the smell hits you immediately. Oh, it smells like Sour Patch watermelon. You know, that just immediate, like, this is sour and watermelon. Oh god, oh well, at least they're smaller. Like, I feel like peeps have gotten smaller, and I'm like, that's okay, that's okay. I don't want a marshmallow explosion in my mouth, thank you very much. Alright, here we go. Oh god, it's pink on the inside. This is going to be awful. I'm gonna put the whole thing in my mouth, and it's gonna be terrible. Here we go. Okay, you know what? Actually, that is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I don't like it. I wouldn't choose to eat it again, but I'm not, like, immediately vomiting like I was with the raisins where I just wanted to spit it out immediately. Because that was just nasty. And I've got 5 boxes of them left. What do I do? Alright, and that's all for this video. What a mess. I'll be back again next week with the video that I originally promised for this week, which is some computer upgrades, so that should be very exciting. But until then, as always, stay curious.